guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my first video of Bookmas. I've decided to do a variant of Bookmas. It's not any of the stereotypical Bookmas variants. I'm not doing the first 12 days. I'm not doing the last 12 days. I'm not doing 12 days consecutively at all. I have just decided to upload a little bit more, and so my Bookmas isn't very traditional. I have 7 videos planned up until Christmas for you guys to watch, and normally my uploading schedule is like once every week. Hopefully, on average, like 3 videos a month is normal for me. But since I'm doing 7, I decided to call it my own variant of Bookmas. There's gonna be sprinkled in with like regular life vlogs, reading vlogs, and then some like sit down book specific videos. So stay tuned for that. I hope you guys are so excited. I'm so excited. I can't wait to edit all of them. I have a backlisted video that's going to be uploaded for Bookmas, and so that one's not very like festive in like any sort of way, but I hope you guys still enjoy it and get to watch more book content. So yeah, I'm super excited. So for today, to start off Bookmas, I'm going to be reading Christmas romances, and so I think the seasonal romance category is something I don't really explore. I've read some like witchy romances last year for like October, November, like fall time, and they were fine. I feel like the Christmas market is a little saturated with like Hallmark movies, Hallmark adjacent books where it's just like, oh yeah, it's just like for the festive season. So I'm going to be reading some of those. I'm on the hold list for 2 of them on Libby. I have Love Light Farms by DK Borison. Now I'm looking at my hold. 15 people waiting per copy. It was like nothing yesterday. Like people are getting ready and I'm first in line. I'm first in line for Love Light Farms. Third in line for Christina Lauren's In a Holidays. I've read 2 previous Christina Lauren books. I've read Love in Other Words and The Unhoneymooners. I really liked the Love in Other Words. I felt about Unhoneymooners, but that's what besides the point. And then I have 2 other ones in my Kindle library. So I have Kristen Hanna's Comfort and Joy. This is real early in Kristen Hanna's work. I've never read a Kristen Hanna book because a lot of her books are under St. Martin's Press, and so I haven't been doing that because I wouldn't be able to post the reviews, but I do really want to get into her work eventually. Then I have One Day in December by Josie Silver. I don't know anything about these books, so I think Comfort and Joy is 2 sisters and it's Christmas. I think there's like a little bit of romance. I saw that like on the tag on Goodreads. And then One Day in December, I think it's like, I don't know if they're friends, enemies, but they keep interacting throughout the years in December, I guess. So we're gonna read those ones. I think I'm gonna read One Day in December first, and then I'll get to Comfort and Joy, and then wait for my library holds to come in. So yeah, I'm so excited to start my Bookmas. I literally sat in front of the tree for it, but it's Bookmas. It's Amy's version of Bookmas. So yeah, I'm gonna start with these Christmas romances, and I'll see you when I have something to update you with. So yeah. Hi guys, it's the same day. I started One Day in December by Josie Silver. 43% through the book, and let me tell you, like so much shit has gone down that I'm just like, how am I only 43% through this book? This book's around like, I would say 400 pages. It's like 390-ish. But like I just can't get over it. Like I started the book 30 pages in and I was like, holy shit, like this is where we're going with, because I didn't know anything. I went to this book blind, like I had no idea about like, and so like I had a vague idea, but like the way that shit goes down in the first 30 pages, insane. Follow our main character Lori, and one day in 2008 in December, she meets this guy on the bus, and so the bus moves past before they can ever like meet again, and so she's like transfixed on this like guy that she met for like 0.2 seconds, and so that's already like, oh my god, like why are you so in love with this guy that you saw at the bus stop for like literally less than a minute? I'm not saying it's the best book, I'm not saying it's the worst book, I'm just saying it could become the worst book. It has, okay, I know people are already rolling in their grave. Like I'm gonna roll in my grave too, because like that's just fucked up. But I'm going to keep reading it. It's just so entertaining. I think I only really care about one aspect of the book, and if that goes awry, something bad happens to that aspect of the book, it's over for me. It's like, it's not gonna be, it won't be higher than a 3 stars. I'm not expecting it to be higher than a 3 stars anyways. There is one character that like I'm having suspicions of, but like I think ultimately they're gonna be a fine character. And it's just like, they're not gonna play too big of a part. It really is just like a minor, like, oh, this is happening for a couple years. 43% done with the book. I really want to try to get a lot of it done. It's like midnight. I'm gonna keep on reading. I'll update you when I either finish the book or like another crazy thing happens, but like those are my initial thoughts so far. Like just crazy that like I feel like I should be so much further into the book. I'm like not even 200 pages in, and it's just like I feel like so much has happened. So it's moving really quickly. And I looked up like table of contents and we end at 2017, and right now I'm at like 2012. So there's that. Even for like the way that it's going, I don't want what's gonna happen at the end to happen. I feel like icky if that happens. I don't know, like that's just the way I feel. No one talked to me. I've been crying, but I do need a time lapse. So I just don't believe it. Fuck that. This is not funny hee giggling like I'm kicking my heat. This is funny like I can't believe what this book has put me through. Funny that like I cannot believe that this book has made me have fucking whiplash, and I'm scared of ever getting into a relationship ever in my life. I cannot believe. I don't think I've finished a book in one sitting in a long time. And I'm not gonna lie, this book fucking wrecked me. I cried so many tears. I'll give you my full thoughts tomorrow. Holy shit. It's 1:15. I think it took me like an hour and 15 minutes to read the second half of the book. I don't know what I just read. I feel like I read a mixture of every Wattpad angst every Wattpad and Tumblr angst fanfic I've ever read in my life. It was in that book. I feel like dazed and confused because I can't see anything, and I'm filming with my retainer in. This is a real low point in my life. This is a real low point in my life. Hi guys. Last night I finished One Day in December by Josie Silver. This book is like a different breed. I truly think that every plot point in this book was Satan reincarnated. Like this one is so crazy. I feel like when people say angst nowadays, they're not meaning the type of angst that I'm looking for. The type of angst I'm looking for is like Magnolia Park's like you're gonna rip your soul out angst. And this is what it achieved. One Day in December achieved that in the platonic relationships, the romantic relationships, and everything like that. You know when like people are like, oh yeah, when Wattpad authors and like Tumblr fics, they just like put in stuff just to make like the main character have a bad time. This is what was happening in this book. I think this book changed my brain chemistry a little bit in the fact that like every fear you have of when you're getting into a relationship was brought to light in this book. Like it was insane. Like I look probably manic reading the last 30 pages of it because I knew where it was going. I knew what was gonna happen basically. Duh. I feel like if you read on that long and you don't know what's gonna happen, like you're actually delusional. I was just like I was just uncontrollably laughing because of what happened and how that got to the ending, and it was just like really unnecessary. Like I feel like it would have been so much more like, yeah, it would have been less boring. It would have been boring, but like I don't know, like it was just like the craziest. Like this book was just insane to me. Like it's not good. It's not good. I think the writing was like fine. It was just like very like simple writing. You just read it and then you're just like you're taking in the information. Like it wasn't like the most flowery. It wasn't the most like horrible I've ever read in my life. So like I really have no like gripes with the writing. It's just the plot lines that were employed in this book were just so crazy, and I just have no other way to say it other than crazy. Like it was just so crazy. Like every single thing that you expect to happen happened, and like every like one-off like, oh my god, imagine if this happened, like every intrusive thought, this author put that into this book. It was so funny. It's so funny. I don't know why it's so funny to me. I'm gonna give you a rating and then I'll go into the spoiler section of like this part. It's probably, I'm not gonna do a spoiler for everyone, but I just need you guys to like hear how crazy this book is. Okay, my first thought was giving it 4 stars because it was just such a crazy ride. Like I was so entertained. So entertained, and it really got me crying. It got me crying. Like, that was like, I was like, okay, 3.5, like that's like the area that I was thinking. And then I was like, would I recommend this book? Like no, like if I would not recommend this book because it's just like so crazy in the way that like the tropes especially, like I just do like wouldn't condone it. So then I was thinking like a 2.5, and I was like, because 3 is like I would recommend it. But now that I'm really thinking about like the way I felt reading it, the way it just like was so funny to me because of what was happening in the plots and like the way it made me feel emotionally. It was just such a crazy ride. I'm sticking with a flat 3. So it's in the middle of 3.5 and then 2.5 because I was just like, it's not good. Like I do not condone people to read this, but like I need to stick true. Like I had so much fun reading this book. So 3 is my rating. Skip to this time if you don't want to hear any spoilers about this book and you just want to go into this book blind because it was a fucking roller coaster. Like it was crazy. Basically our main character Lori, she meets this guy at a bus stop in 2008. She's on the bus, he's like at the bus stop, he doesn't get on the bus, and then the bus leaves. And so then fast forward like a few months later, Lori is trying to find bus boy. That she's like dead set on like finding him. Like that's her New Year's resolution. She just wants to find him. And then I think like a year later or something like that, Lori's best friend Sarah, like they've been friends since college. Like they're like 23 now, and so they're having like, they just love each other. Like Lori sees Sarah as a sister, and so like they're just super duper close. Sarah has a new boyfriend. Then they meet at like a Christmas party. Lori automatically recognizes that the guy that Sarah's dating is busboy guy, and so Jack and Sarah are pretty like, they're like really in love. Like they're like, Sarah's like, I think like I'm gonna marry this guy, and so Lori's just like, oh my god, like what do I do? Like do I tell her? And so she ends up not telling her. And then it's always like a thing like, does Jack know that I'm the girl from the bus stop, and did he ever like have any like connection with the girl at the bus stop? And so she's just like that. And so there's a little bit of like tension because Lori doesn't really want to be friends with Jack because of how she's feeling towards him, and she doesn't want to get that to be a factor into her relationship and friendship with Sarah. Fast forward, time goes, they cheat on Sarah. Lori's just having a bad time. Her dad just got a heart attack, and so she's like, she's just really stressed. She has to move back home. She needs to help her mom. And so then at a bar, Jack kisses Lori, and so they're just like, we can't tell Sarah this, and they're like blah 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 blah. And then fast forward time later, Jack and Sarah are like they're pretty steady. Like they haven't told Sarah that like they kissed one time. And so then like Jack is just like saying like stuff. He's like, if I weren't with her, then I would be with you. Like he's just saying out of fucking pocket stuff. I hate Jack. Fast forward, Lori, she goes to Thailand and she meets this guy who lives in London. Surprise, surprise, the same city as her, and they hit it off. They become real steady. They come back to the UK. Lori doesn't live in London, so she's like commuting back and forth, and she's trying to find a job as well. So that's happening. The guy, Oscar, I love Oscar. Like he does some shady stuff in the end, but like if this book wasn't about Jack, like I would have just totally loved like a spin-off of just Oscar. Like I loved Oscar. When Lori is introducing Oscar to Sarah and Jack, Sarah automatically is like, oh yeah, I'm so happy for you, Lori. And then Jack's just like a little piece of shit. He's just like, oh my god, I'm so jealous. Like I'm not gonna be blah, blah. He's just like really standoffish towards Oscar. And Oscar's like a sweetheart. He's just like, he can't help that he's rich. He can't help it. Jack and Sarah, they're still together for a while. They've been together for a while. And then Jack gets into a car accident. I think he like loses some of his hearing for a little bit, and then he's like got some broken bones, and so he's just like having a shit time. Like he's like, he can't take this job offer that he got, and so he's just like unemployed right now, and so he's just having a bad time. He's like bad mentally right now, and he's taking it off on Sarah and Lori. And so Lori goes to him, he says some out of pocket mean stuff, pulls on her necklace that Oscar gave her, and it was just like very abusive. Like I was just like, holy shit. Like Lori was like really scared, and so I was like, how is Jack gonna ever come back from this? Like how is he gonna come back from this? Oscar and Lori get engaged, and the same night that Sarah and Jack break up. And so that happens, and then fast forward to the wedding. Jack has moved out of London, so he's in Scotland now. He's in Edinburgh, and the wedding happens. So she's inviting them the night before her wedding. Sarah and Lori are talking, and then Sarah realizes that Jack was busboy, and so she's like, oh my god, you've been in love with my ex-boyfriend this whole time, like that's fucking crazy, like did you guys like do stuff behind my back, blah blah blah. And then it slips out that they kissed one time, and then shit hits the fan. This is where I was like, holy shit, like this is crazy, like I'm crying, like why is this so sad, like this friendship is breaking. And so, I also cried during like Jack and Sarah's breakup. It was just like, I think breakups are just so sad. So that happened. Then Sarah doesn't go to the wedding, and then because Sarah's not at the wedding, she can't make the speech. Jack makes Lori's wedding speech because he's her like longest friend, and so he makes a wedding speech, and everyone's like, holy shit, like Jack's like in love with Lori. And like Oscar kind of like clocks it, and he's just like, I can't believe like that he just said that. Basically he was just really admirable, and everyone's like, oh my god, like so swoon worthy. Stuff happens. Jack gets a girlfriend eventually, and then he's just a really bad boyfriend. He's just a bad boyfriend. Lori and Oscar works in banking, and so he moves overseas. He moves to Brussels while Lori's still in London. This is all while Jack's gone, Sarah's out of Lori's life, and her husband has left and moved to another country, and he's there like half of the week. And so she's like that, and then his ex-girlfriend, who his mom loves, is overseas as well with Oscar. That was a crazy fucking plotline. I cannot believe they kept adding that in. So that was happening, and I was like, oh my god, I smell divorce. And I think divorce, like breakups are just so sad. Like I don't understand, like that's the type of angst, like I love breakup angst. It's just so, it hits so hard, because like I don't know. And then eventually Lori and Oscar get divorced, and Lori, she becomes friends with Sarah again, and they like kind of like make up, and then Sarah moves off to Australia, and then Jack has a steady girlfriend. Lori's divorced, and then her dad dies. And so that's happening, and then the book ends with like a big like, oh my god, like I cannot believe it's taken us this long to like find each other with Jack and Lori. And it's just like, oh my god, like everyone's on Twitter is like, oh my god, we're like, because he is like a radio type of person, and then she calls in, and then they're like having a heart to heart, and everyone's like, holy shit, like these people are meant to be together, like they need to get on with it. And so that's how the book ends. Spoilers are finished. That book was crazy. I cannot get over that book. I think that book like took years off of my life, because I was just like, just the way that like cheating and like falling out of love, and then like friendship breakups, family dynamics, and like heartache and heartbreak and grief were just all implemented into this book. Like that took years off my life, because every single like thing that I'm scared of was in this book basically, and I was like, holy shit, like that's fucking crazy. So that took years off my life, and now I'm reading the next Christmas book. Also, this book wasn't even that Christmas. There was Christmas scenes in it. It started in Christmas, it really kind of ended near Christmas, and like every year she was like having new like resolutions because like the new year and stuff like that. So that's like the only like Christmas bit. Like I don't think it was that Christmassy. I was just too focused on how fucking cheating trope this is. Right now I'm reading Comfort and Joy by Kristen Hanna. This is my first Kristen Hanna book. Right now I think I'm like 10 pages in, not anything insane. And basically all I know right now is that our main character Joy, she is separated from her husband because her husband cheated on her with her sister. And so now her sister came and was like, oh yep, I'm pregnant, here's the wedding invitation, come to our wedding. So that's like that. I thought the sisters were gonna be like just sweet little like sister bond. Nope, this is sad. What's this called? Comfort and Joy. No, I swear to god, if the love interest is named Comfort, I'm gonna throw up. Like I'm gonna throw up. Let's read the Goodreads summary together. So without telling anyone, she buys a plane ticket and boards a plane to the Pacific Northwest. Bold decision to leave her life behind. Adventure, small town. Oh, I hate small town. A 6-year-old Bobby facing his Christmas without a mother. His father Daniel. Okay, not Comfort. Little boy meets Joy. Her world is ripped apart and her heart is broken. On a magical Christmas Eve, a night of impossible dreams and unexpected chances, Joy must find the courage to believe in love and a family, and that can't possibly exist, and go into search what she wants, the new life she can find. It's got a 3.56. Not the worst, not the best, but yeah, it's less than 300 pages. I think I can whack it off. My library holds aren't coming in yet, so we're just gonna have to wait. That's my updates. Reading Comfort and Joy by Kristen Hannah, and I finished one holiday romance, but yeah. Hi guys, my library holds aren't here, and so I saw a TikTok and I really got influenced because it's just a tiny little novella, so it's not really counting as like a real book. This is a part of like I think a bunch of authors do it. They get together and they write little novellas that are like less than 100 pages long. But Ali Hazelwood has written a novella called Cruel Winter with You. It's part of Under the Mistletoe, which has Ali Hazelwood, Tessa Bailey, Olivia Dade, Alexander Bellafleur, and Alexis Stara. I only know Tessa Bailey. I don't really do that, but it comes with like the audiobooks if you have Kindle Unlimited. So I think I'm gonna read Cruel Winter with You by Ali Hazelwood because I like Ali Hazelwood books. It's fun, it's cute, I guess. This one person that I saw it on TikTok, they said like, oh my god, Ali Hazelwood like put crack in that novella. She loved it and it wasn't even 100 pages. She said she rated it 5 stars. Okay, okay. I don't think I'm gonna rate it because it's less than 100 pages, but I'm going to do that while I'm waiting for my Libby holds to come in. I'm hoping it comes in fairly quickly so I can read Love Light Farms, but yeah, we're just gonna be waiting, and in the meantime I'm reading other books in between that, so I'm not just waiting for these Christmas books. I'm probably gonna try and finish Cruel Winter with You either today or tomorrow because I do want to try and finish a book that I'm reading right now, but I read Comfort and Joy by Kristen Hannah. I'm giving that 1 star. I just didn't like it. I think the setup was bad. I think maybe I'm just like a heinous bitch, and I would not have ever like been able to redeem the like betrayal I would have felt. And yeah, that's what happens, and that's just like me. Like I would have been so much more like, girl, what the hell are you doing? Also the romance and everything like that, it felt non-existent. It just felt like our main character Joy loved the little boy, that like she felt sorry for the little boy, she connected to the boy, but the father, there was no semblance of like romance in the story whatsoever through action, except for like, oh yeah, he's pretty handsome like one time, and he's like the father of this boy. Like, okay, like it was just really bad, and I did not like it. So 1 star. I'm gonna see you guys when I have some updates for you, but yeah. Hi guys, I'm back. I ended up reading Cruel Winter with You by Ali Hazelwood. That was the novella, like the 70-page novella. I'm not rating this, but let me say that Ali Hazelwood, she made a compelling story in like 70 pages. I think it was really like, it could have been more elaborated on like and built into a story, but I think the situation and everything that was leading up to the characters being themselves in that moment, I think it was a perfect like great novella. And I haven't read any of her other like novellas. I think she has like a book that's traditionally published that has a bunch of novellas, so it's like a collection of novellas. But I think I really liked it. I think it was cute. I didn't really like, you can't really get connected, but like I think it was fun. Like, so basically the premise is that there's a big winter storm coming. Our main character Jamie has a best friend, and so her best friend, I don't know her best friend, Tabitha, I think Tabitha. I'm like 85% sure it's Tabitha. Jamie has a best friend named Tabitha and has a best friend, and so that's Tabitha's dad. And so when Tabitha's parents have another child, a son, Mark, who's 2 years younger than them, and then they kind of grow up together, and so like since Jamie's Tabitha's best friend, she's like, oh my god, he's just like your younger brother, like blah blah blah. Years pass later, Mark is of course a billionaire because he started up a startup. So he's doing that. He's like a tech billionaire. Jamie is like she's in her residency for pediatrics, and so she's doing all that. She's really lonely. Mark has been in love with Jamie since like forever. And so Jamie's like, that's puppy love, like that's not gonna work out. And she's like really scared of commitment, so she rejects him when Mark is like, I'm finally like in a place where I feel like I deserve you. And so he's like, he's been in love with her for so long. But like, okay, that's what I don't like about it. So that's just like, I don't know, I just like don't like that, because like they don't really know each other other than like Mark's like, oh yeah, I know that you're like lonely and then like you're like a people pleaser, but like that's it, that's all you fucking know. I think it was cute little story. I think I'm gonna bite the bullet and then I'm gonna buy Love Life Farm, so we can start that after I finish my book that I'm reading currently. And I hope I like Love Life Farms. I think it's like social media. I think it's like social media. She's like trying to help his farm, his Christmas tree farm. I read 2.5 books for this holiday reading vlog, and it's not done yet. We're not finished yet, but I'm hoping that, I don't know, I've heard some really good things about Love Life Farms. I just can't, I'm not over the high that One Day in December gave me. That was so funny, so funny. Well, I'll see you next time. See you later. Hi guys, I've decided that this is the last book I'm gonna be reading. The last book I'm going to be reading for the holiday romances, so I can start editing. But I did read 3.5. I planned on reading 4, but I am like 20% through. I have some hot chocolate. I low-key slayed with this hot chocolate, I'm not gonna lie. I'm on chapter 13 of Love Life Farms. 45% through. 141 pages into it. I think there's 300, and I will not rest until I finish this book today. Because I've been reading it for 3 days. The day that I said I was just gonna download it on Kindle, library hold went through. So I'm still 4 weeks out for the hold for the Christina Lauren book, but I don't want to read that because I'm sick of holiday romances after this one. But Love Life Farms, it's not seeming too holiday at this point. Like, it is a holiday, so basically we follow our main character Stella, and she owns like a Christmas tree farm, and her farm is just not, she's not cutting it. So she doesn't really want anybody to know that there's like financial trouble, and so she applies to like this like contest, social media like TikTok influencer contest, where this like girl, she goes and like highlights places to travel and like places to see and like attractions, I guess. And so she is like known for like really highlighting romantic stories. And so Stella's like, oh yeah, I own this Christmas tree farm with my boyfriend. No boyfriend. So she needs to find a boyfriend to keep this lie up. And so she recruits her best friend Luca, who she's harboring feelings for, but she just knows that Luca's just like, oh, Luca's so confident, and if he hasn't like asked me this far into our relation, this far into our friendship, then there's nothing there. I like the dynamic between Luca and Stella. I think they're cute. It gives like small town vibe. It's like, oh, like everyone is super obsessed with like this, like these friends, and they're like, oh my god, we're betting on you to like be a couple and stuff like that. So it's that, and like everyone knows each other in this town. I think it's a lot more depth like than I'm explaining it. Stella's like, she doesn't her mom's dead, and so it's like that, like, I don't know, it's not like super homeworky, but like you have character depth because they both deal with grief of like a family member, and then just like their own things. It's not just like, oh, sunshine, happy, like, oh, they're best friends but they're so oblivious, like that type of thing. So yeah, we went through Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving tomorrow for me in real time, so that's kind of fun. Now it's getting into the Christmas season, and I'm excited. So I'm excited to see, like, halfway through, we haven't like the influencer person isn't here yet, so we're not really having to like deal with like the fake dating yet. I'm gonna finish reading, so I will not rest until I finish this book. But it says I have 3 hours and 11 minutes. That's just a lie, so let's go. I'm back in the apartment. We're in front of the Christmas tree again. We're ending off where we started off. But I've read 3 holiday romances with 1 holiday novella. So altogether, I've read, I would say 3.5 holiday books. It's now Saturday. I think I finished Love Light Farms on Wednesday night. My rankings for all of them. For One Day in December by Josie Silver, I'm rating it this 3 stars. I think it was just such a fun book. Like the plot is just so far-fetched, and like every bad thing that could happen to our main character basically almost happened to her. There was cheating involved, unrequited feelings and everything like that. I don't know, our main character, she was just having a hard time. So I don't think the love interest in this book was like as good. Like I actually physically hated the guy. It was just like such like binge-worthy trashy content that I just like, I had to give it a good enough rating, but I was like, yeah, it's not for everybody, but I enjoyed it, so it's gonna be 3 stars. That book just changed my brain chemistry, so I have to give it that. Next I read Comfort and Joy by Kristen Hanna. This is like, it was less than 300 pages. It was super fast, super easy. I'm giving it 1 star. The book just went nowhere. I hated the plot and I hated where we went to for the end of the book, and it was just like whatever. Like honestly, it just felt like a fever dream, and it was just like what, like there's no point. Like I just really don't care. I think the characters were bland. You don't really get too much other than like our main character Joy really loving her time with a kid named Bobby, and that kid's dad is the love interest, but like they really barely interacted because it was basically focused on just Joy and Bobby the kid. So I was just like, there's just no way that this like romance is like what, like they're gonna last. Like there's just no way. And I think it was stupid. Like I would never do whatever Joy did, especially after what happened to her happened to me. Never hear the end of it for me. But yeah, so 1 star. Next I read Ali Hazelwood's Cruel Winter with You. This is a 70-page novella. It's really fast, super easy, and it's like, it takes place around Christmas time. The couple, they're like snowed into this thing, and they're just like kind of figuring out this conflict where like our main character Jamie said she didn't want to be with this guy named Mark, and so he's just like, why don't you want to be with me, and like what's happening after that, after she's rejected him. And so it's just like basically that. It kind of goes into like the past of like their history together. I don't care about the history of them, but I thought they were cute. I thought, I don't know, like Ali Hazelwood's writing is just so easy to digest, and it was super fast-paced, super fun, and just like a nice little novella. You don't really think about it anymore. Because it's like less than 100 pages, I'm not reading it, but it was a fun time, so I'd recommend you read it. If you like Ali Hazelwood's books and her writing, then you'll like this. You know what I mean? It's not like anything groundbreaking. Like it's not like a new book from her, but like it's fun. And then for the last book, I read Love Light Farms by BK Borison. I don't know what I'm giving this. I think I'm gonna give it like a 2.5. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. You know what I mean? And because I wasn't like as absorbed in the plot and like the characters and just like the craziness of what's happening in this book, I can't give it a 3 like I did One Day in December. But I don't condone any of the behaviors in One Day in December. I just think Love Light Farms was like a little flat. I don't know. I just feel like it was just like miscommunication, but not miscommunication in like the like, ooh, like the angst type of way that I love. It was miscommunication, like this girl's actually dumb in the head. She's stupid. So it was just like all the signs of Luca liking her from like other people, and like literally people flat out telling her through his actions were just so obvious that I was just like, there's just no way that this girl is like thick in the head. Like this girl has like no critical thinking skills. It was like fun little small town vibes. It's like, oh yeah, everyone in the town knows each other. Luca's a nice guy. And like the miscommunication of this one was just like too much for me. And like not in like a cute like, oh my god, will they, won't they type of way, or like a, oh my god, the one that got away type of way. It's like stupid, physically dumb. Like just open your eyes, girl. Like there's just no way that you don't think he's like a little bit in love with you. That's stupid. But yeah, 2.5 stars. It was a fun little read. I don't really recommend it. I don't know. All in all, I don't really recommend holiday romances. I think they're fine. I think it's cool to get into like the season, but I just don't think they're for me. Like, but I don't think they're written badly. I don't think they're just like, the ones that I read at least, they didn't feel like they were just like written to like gain money. Like, I don't know, like I feel like these authors really honed their craft and like tried to do them. But like honestly, I think for Comfort and Joy and One Day in December and Cruel Winter with You, they didn't feel too Christmassy. I think Love Light Farms felt really Christmassy because she was a Christmas tree farm owner, and like that was her whole shtick. But like I don't think the other ones felt Christmassy at all. They were just like, oh yeah, like Christmas is mentioned in this book. It's classified as a Christmas romance. There's my thoughts on all the books I read. I hope you guys enjoy. Get ready for Bookmas. I'm super excited and I'm so happy to be doing Bookmas. I can't wait to share all the videos that I planned for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, comment down below anything. I love replying to comments. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in my next Bookmas video. Bye.